Technicians worldwide rely on precise signal measurement to diagnose a myriad of vehicles and equipment. In an era of increasingly delicate electrical systems with smaller, more fragile connectors, one wrong move can lead to costly long-term issues. It is crucial that students and new technicians can perform these intricate procedures successfully. But how often do they get to practice without risking damage to school vehicles or engine benches? While equipment like ConsuLab engine benches are invaluable, they too face the dilemma of connector fragility. Breakout boxes offer a wonderful workaround, aiding in the development of diagnostic skills, but without the hands-on connector experience. Recognizing this gap, manufacturers sought our help to enhance technician training in backprobing and signal interpretation. The result? The innovative ConsuLab CL-1930 Connector Trainer, a dual-function tool for mastering signal acquisition and honing backprobing skills. Now let's dive into the first aspect of the CL-1930, backprobing mastery. Designed with real-world scenarios in mind, it features various connector types, both in easily accessible and in tight spaces, mirroring the actual conditions technicians face. Students can practice on robust yet realistic connectors, reducing the risk of damage while gaining confidence and proficiency. An essential component of the CL-1930's educational value is in its focus on schematic reading. This product excels in teaching students how to interpret circuit locations, wire colors, pinouts, and connector end views. Understanding these technical aspects is critical in familiarizing oneself with wiring diagrams, a fundamental part of the diagnostic process. The product presents various diagnostic challenges, requiring students to apply their backprobing skills in a controlled educational environment. Each connector has been carefully chosen for its supply chain availability and for its ease of field repair to allow simple, easy maintenance, repairs, and replacement. This allows your students to really prove out their methods and, inevitably, to damage the components with the minimum possible recourse. It's a safe space for probing. The provided schematic shows the pin numbers and wire colors and identifies each circuit for each sensor. The trainer is configured such that there are 2 in-harness connectors and then connectors at each sensor and at the ECU, providing numerous test points throughout the circuit. So let us take the example of sensor 1. Looking at the schematic, we can see that it has 3 different terminals at the ECU. Sensor 1 signal, sensor 1 low ref, and sensor 1 VREF. We can trace these circuits through the harness-to-harness connector, through the limited access connector, and then finally to the sensor 1 connector. Students can perform backprobe measurements at all these points, giving them numerous ways to practice. The limited access connector is purposefully difficult. With the access trap locked in the closed position, it is very difficult to get a good view of the pinout and the exact wire, just as it is in real life, when climbing up inside the dash of a vehicle or in other compromised situations. This gives a great measure of a student's ability to make the correct measurement when it's not easy. Moving to the second core feature, the CL-1930 excels in signal generation. It's equipped with a custom ECU and multiple sensors, including a Hall effect sensor, a throttle position sensor, and an analog AC generator. These components allow students to capture, interpret, and analyze a range of signals, from digital square waves to analog AC outputs. There are 9 different scenarios that can be inserted by the instructor in the locked access box. With the trainer functioning in the normal position, the system voltage is 12.6 volts. The sensor VREF is 5 volts. Sensor 1 frequency is 4.5 kHz at 25% duty cycle, and the sensor 3 signal is 100 Hz at 3 volts AC. These values allow your students to practice measurements with multimeters and oscilloscopes. Once they become familiar with these signals, they can then be manipulated via the different scenarios in the fault box. The system voltage can be changed, and the system reacts accordingly. We can insert a bad system ground with a large voltage drop. We can change the frequency and duty cycle of sensor 1 and the frequency and amplitude of sensor 3. We've written and tested more than 20 different student assignments for the trainer, saving you tons of setup time. As we've seen, ConsuLab CL-1930 Connector Trainer is more than just a teaching tool. It's an integral part of nurturing competent, skilled technicians. Its dual functionality in signal interpretation and backprobing practice makes it an unmatched resource in automotive education. Interested in enhancing your program with the CL-1930? Visit our website and request a quote today. Prepare your students for the real world with ConsuLab.